back to episode 4. Today what we're basically going to do is, now that we mapped out basically everything about my game, we're just going to add in some sprites to make it look pretty. And then for episode 5, for the last and final episode, I'll show you how to add in AI commands into our game and actually be able to use voice commands. So basically for this, what you have to do is download some files. So I had to download some files, and right now I'm currently setting up the GitHub for the AI project, where I'll put in all of these files for you guys. And basically these files are all files that I made using Piskel on my own. So yeah, and I made them all public, but unfortunately Piskel is going away. But I'm not sure if you can still use these files, so if you can get them using the GitHub, or you can also get them from using the Piskel if you're able to do that as well. So now that I have all these files downloaded down here, I'm going to try and import them into my game. So essentially I'm going to do that is I'm going to open up my file explorer. I have a lot of files. Go into AI project, tutorial, or whatever you named it as, and you're going to create a new folder titled images. And then after that, you're going to go into your download folder or wherever you downloaded all these things, and you're going to take all these files, copy, and then you're going to go into the tutorial images, and then you're going to paste it. And now you're going to have all of these PNG files for you. So yeah. So now that we did that, if you look inside here, inside brackets, it will automatically update and show the images that you added in. Okay? And now that we're done with that, we're going to start actually implementing them into our game. So in order to do that, we have to create a new image tag via, not in the script tag, it's going to be using HTML. And then we're going to create a new class called hide, so that it doesn't actually show on the HTML page. But for right now, we're just going to remove the class because we want to see if the file actually works. So now we're just going to do src image chicken1. Yeah, so if you see in the top left corner right here, we can see that the chicken actually works. So that's pretty good. And then now, if we want to use it put it into JavaScript, sorry, you have to give it an ID. So we're going to give this the ID of chicken. And then now, we're going to give it a class of, don't add the space, we're going to give it a class of hide. So essentially what hide is going to do is that it's going to hide it on the HTML page. So it's just going to show up on the JavaScript. And what hide is basically is, it's just going to be display none. So now you can see that the chicken's still going to be there, but it's going to be hidden, so that you can't see it. And now that we're done with that, we're going to try and implement the chicken into the game. So to do that, we're just going to do var let's see, var chicken is equal to document dot get element by ID chicken. And now if we go down into draw character, we can do ctx.drawImage chicken character.x character.y. And now if we save it and refresh it, we see that there's the chicken there. And now we can just remove the fill style, and now it'll go like that. So we can now see that our chicken is indeed jumping. So now all we have to do for this is to do it for every single other one. So in order to do that, we can basically just do image, create a new image tag as usual, give it the class of hide, give it the src of oopsies, src equals to image, and then fox. We're gonna do the fox first. And then now we have to do var fox is equal to document dot get element by id foxes. Oh, we didn't give this one an id. Foxes for the id. And then now underneath draw enemy, we're going to do ctx.drawImage fox chicken, not chicken, enemy.x enemy.y, and then we're going to file save it, and then you can see that there's going to be the fox there. And then now we can just remove the blue box, and then now the fox is attacking the chicken. And then now what we're going to do is the ground. So we're just going to, as usual, add in a new image tag, give it the class of hide, and then we want to do src is equal to image ground.png. And you can also rename these files if it isn't working for you, because in the file explorer, but I'm just going to stick it with these because they're working. But you can rename them to whatever you want and change the directory. Okay, so now that we're done with this, we're gonna go into the draw background right here. I forgot, this one's the ground. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to do ctx. We didn't do this. Okay. We're going to do var ground, and oh, I keep on forgetting to write the ID. ID is equal to ground, and then we can do document dot get element by ID ground, and then we can draw it underneath background. So we can do ctx.drawImage. So that's gonna be x, y with height. So we want to do ground, and then the x value is gonna be 0, and the y value is gonna be canvas dot height minus 175. I might change the parameters around a little bit. Oh, I accidentally added 0 in here instead of a comma. So you can see here that the ground isn't exactly long enough. So in order to do that, I'm pretty sure we can just do the width will be 700 pixels, and then the height will be around 200. So we can see that the ground got much bigger. So then we can also move it over, make it a little bit bigger. So we can also do that, or we could have also shrunk down the screen so that it fits it, but I think it's easier to just make the width and height like this. And then we can delete this, and then there's the ground. So now we can jump over it and everything. 1, 2, 3, and you can still see even when you die, it still works. So now that we're done with that, all we have left to do is the clouds, the grass, and the heart. So let's get started with the let's just get started with using I did not mean to open up Chrome again. how about we, let's just do the hearts. Yeah, the hearts shouldn't be too hard. So underneath the UI, we have to add in, we have to do image class is equal to hide. The source of it is going to be image full heart 1. And then from there, we also have to give it an ID, don't forget about that. And then we can rename it to heart. And then underneath here, you do var heart is equal to document, not do, document dot get element by ID heart. And then after you're done with that, we go into the UI. So to do that, we do ctx.drawImage heart. And then we want to do canvas dot width divided by 2. Then the y value is going to be 50 as well. So you can see that we also drew the heart there. But the problem is this has too far down, so we can just move it up by decreasing it. Let's just set it to 35, maybe. So now we can see that we drew the heart. Actually, let's set it back to 30. I think 30 is better. So there you go, we see the heart. And now we just have to draw that a few more times. So we just go like this, copy it. And then we can just do it minus 50. And then we can do plus 50. And that's going to make 3 rows of hearts. Right in the middle. Let's actually decrease this, so that's minus 30 plus 30, so that it lessens the gap. So there you go, we did that. So now what we have to do is, I just realized I messed up typing that thing, like a lot. How did I miss that? I don't know how I missed that, but it still worked. But I'm surprised that code still worked, even though I misspelled it really badly. Anyways, moving on from that, after we did the heart, we just have to do a few more if statements. So we can go like this. So inside of here, we can say if. Okay. Actually, before we do that, we have to change the values of this. So, right before the function UI, you can type out a new variable and title it heart1x, and that's going to be equal to canvas.width divided by 2. And then we also want to do var heart1 y is equal to canvas dot is equal to, sorry. And actually, let's make this the farthest to the right heart, so we're going to do plus 30. And then instead here, we're just going to do heart1x. And then actually set that one to 0. So we're going to do heart1y. And then we're going to just copy this over a few times. And then for heart2x, it's just going to be canvas.y. Canvas.2y. And I'll further explain this later on. And then do that one minus 30. And then basically what we're going to do right here is we're going to do heart2x, heart 2 y. Don't forget the semicolons. And then we can do heart 3x, comma, heart 3y. So essentially what this is going to do is it's going to give every single heart like a certified x and y value, so we can later move it off the screen. Because if we leave it in terms of canvas.width and canvas.height, then it will just move the canvas around with it, and that's not what we want. So now that we're done with that, we go inside of here, we do if lives is equal to 2, then we want to set it so that heart 1x is equal to -100, -100. Oh, sorry, not negative. We just do that. Then we do heart 1y is also equal to -100. So what that's gonna do is gonna move it off the screen. And then also don't forget, we have to put this inside of reset as well. So if we go into the reset function, we're just gonna copy all the values so that we can further reset the hearts. And now that we're done with that, where is our code? I lost our code. Okay. Now we do if lives is equal to 1, then you want to set it so that heart 2x, sorry, is equal to -100, is equal to -100, and then we do heart 2y is equal to -100 as well. And then right before the death happens, if lives is less than or equal to 0, then we want to set it so that heart 3y and heart 3x and heart 3y are also off the screen. Now let's try that. So now you can see when we die, one heart goes away, another heart goes away, and then when you die, the third heart goes away. But however, it doesn't reset it, so oh, okay. Where did we reset the value? Let's set it so that in the start here, in the starting. So now when we do the starting, it'll restart it. So 1, 2, 3, and then when we press enter again, heart 1y, heart 1x still aren't there. That's quite interesting. Here, let's remove console.log lives. How do we reset it? Did I? Let's try to put it inside of the loop maybe. So once you start the game, you also reset the values. But it has to go before the game, so I'll do like something like that, maybe. So then we do file, save all. 1, 2, 3, enter, still doesn't work. Okay, I'm just gonna fix something real quick. So underneath the lives, we can just remove the lives text because we know how many lives we have. But then we can set it so that we can do console. We can do Where should we do this? Start game isn't working out either. Let me look at my other code to see how I did this. Okay. So basically, after we do this, in my other code, I just reset their values inside of the reset values function, but that didn't work. So we can try to do this again. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Okay. So the problem here is that I keep on declaring a new variable every single time. Because I copied and pasted the code, of course. So we just remove the variable. So now it'll just update the value rather than create a new value. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And then now it works. Okay. Okay. So my other code did work. It was just that I accidentally kept on declaring the heart over and over again instead of updating the value. That makes sense. Okay. So now we can start going on to we're going to start doing the grass. So what the grass is basically going to look like, it's going to be behind the ground. It's going to be kind of like the background a little bit. So essentially what we do, like normal, is we do image class is equal to hide, and then we set the new source image grass.png, and then we do id is equal to grass, and then underneath we create a new variable titled grass is equal to document get element by id grass. And then once we're done with that, we're going to start drawing the grass behind it. So for drawing the grass, you could end up using, where's my background? You could end up using a for loop if you wanted and just update the time, but I was a little bit too lazy to do that, and I don't really know how for loops really work. So instead, I'm just gonna copy over some code, and I'll make sure to put this in the comment section. And actually, since I named this bush, we're just gonna start this one equal to bush as well. And then once we're done with that, we can file save all, and then we can see that we drew some grass right there. And then now that that is done, I'm just gonna draw it a few more times over. So I think I forgot how I organized this. I think it goes by row. Yeah, it goes by row. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to draw it. So that's the x, y value. X value, y value. So we want it to be down slightly more. So we can probably set it so that this one's like 450. And then this one, 54, 54, 54, 54, 54, 54, 50. So let's see how this works. And oh, okay, I see what I did wrong. I accidentally increased it. So instead we want it to be 500, 500, 500, 500, 500, 500, and 500. So that's gonna move it down slightly more, but oh, that's 5,000. Okay. You may also notice that there's a lot of blue gaps as well, so we can fix that by adding a little bit more bushes, but for right now, I'm just gonna ignore it. And if you guys want to change up the code as well and add a little bit more bushes, or if you want to use a for loop instead, if you're really good at using for loops, you can probably do this without having to copy and paste as much code as I am right now. Let's just do one more row, okay? I know this is a lot of copy and pasting, but it should fill up the holes a little bit better. How come that didn't go down? I'm not sure why that didn't do anything. But anyways, I think you guys got the gist of this. We're at 27 minutes right now, so I'm probably going to add some more bushes off camera, and then I'm probably also going to add in the clouds. You don't really have to add in the clouds, but if you guys do really want me to do that, I'll do in the next episode as well. So thank you for listening, and that's it.